Being sub 20 is not as hard as you might think, but it takes time. So personally, I started cubing at the beginning of 2020, and I'm sub 20 now, so it only took me about 5 months to approach my goal. And I totally didn't expect to improve so much, because last month I was only sub 25 or maybe sub 26, and now I'm sub 20, so yeah, it's incredible. If a dumb person like me can do it in 5 months, I believe you can do it too. Anyway, here are some of my tips for how to be sub 20. Okay, so very simple math. 17 seconds. 3 seconds cross, 9 seconds Ftill, and 6 seconds last layer. An average CFOP solve takes about 55 moves, and you have 17 seconds, which is about 3 to 4 moves per second. Also, usually we turn quicker on last layer, so you only have to do 3 turns per second during Ftill and cross. So first, let's talk about cross. So a lot of people think cross is not as important as the other steps, but cross is actually very important in your entire solve, because if your cross takes more than, let's say, 3 seconds, you will have less time for Ftill and last layer. I will make a video about how to do advanced cross, so stay tuned. But today I'm just going to talk about how to practice your cross. So for example, the most useful way is to do slow solves and to count your moves. For example, this cross, so I see this green piece and this red piece is already done, but it's incorrect. So I do D, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's a really easy solution. Also, at this point, you should be able to predict your Ftill pair. For example, for this, so I see this edge here, and no, actually, let's do these two. So as we insert the cross pieces, so like this, like that, and then D2, this D2. So I know the corners here and the edges here, so I take the corner out, find the edge, and and insert it. So that's basically crossing Ftill, the first Ftill pair at the same time. The third way to practice is to solve the cross blindfolded, and you actually should be able to do that because you can't plan out your cross in the inspection, so practice it blindfolded is basically the same thing, so that will really help. Let's talk about Ftill. So in my opinion, Ftill is the most important step in CFOP, and it takes longer than any other steps. I'm not going to tell you to just do look ahead, because that's too general and everyone knows that. And so I'm just going to tell you a few tips I have. So the first tip I will give you is when you, don't look at your current pair. So for example, you're inserting this pair, and you should be able to look at other pairs instead of look at what you're currently doing. So for example, I saw this corner and this edge, and when I'm inserting it, I already saw this pair, so I can move on to them relatively quickly. And for example, this. So, and I also, when I'm doing this case, I also see this corner and this corner and this edge here. So as I insert this, I can move on to this pair immediately. When I tell people to look ahead and don't look at their current pair, no one actually slows down to practice them, but slow down is actually really important in Ftill. So I'm just gonna do 2 solves, one with basically no look ahead and really quick TPS, but not like really quick TPS because there are breaks in the solve, and one with really good look ahead and no pause. Also, make sure you do the cases in an efficient way. So, for example, this case, instead of take the edge out in some random way like that, so for example, this, you take the edge out like this, then you insert it. So that's basically, you reduced a lot of moves, and it's just more efficient and quicker. And here's another example for this case. So you don't just take it out like that and then pair them up. So you do it like this. So you move the corner here and you pair them up like this and insert them. Just go experience and just find the best way possible to pair the edges efficiently. At this point, you should be able to do 2-look OL and full PL. My advice for OL would be just drill all the algorithms. So make sure you can do each algorithm without thinking about them, so you can execute them quicker. So for example, for this case, first you know how to make a cross like that, and you see this case and you can immediately execute the algorithm. If you know full OL, that is good, that is great, but you don't need to learn full OL for sub 20 because you don't need to. You only need good F2L and cross, and also full PL. My advice for PL would be drill the algorithms you're not familiar with or you're having trouble with. For example, wait, let me solve the cube first. So, for example, for me, G-perm, so this is GA. So I can do it relatively slow, but not too slow. That's because I drill it a lot and I practice it. So, and another advice would be to learn the right finger tricks. So for example, V-perm. So for finger tricks like this, it's really important during the algorithm. So I have 2 separate videos about, one is about hard PLLs made easy, and one is about finger tricks. So definitely go check them out if you're having problem with them. Also, you don't have to do the algorithms as fast as you can, because for some hard PLLs like V-perm, if you do them just like as quick as you can, you might mess up during solves like a lot. So my advice would be do them slowly, but don't not too slow. So because you have at least 2 seconds for PLL, so maybe 3. So let's say 3 seconds. So if you can do any PLL in 3 seconds, you're actually fine. But if you mess up a V-perm during a solve, then it's really bad. So just make sure you can do any algorithm in at least 3 seconds. For example, V-perm, that was really slow, but at least I can't mess up during solves. Some of my other tips would be, so for example, you don't need a cube that is, say, more than $20 to achieve this goal. Well, better cubes will make you improve faster, maybe, but for example, me, I can get the same times with the MGC ELITE or the MF3Rs2. This is a non-magnetic one, or the T Warrior, which is $3, or the Rubik's brand. I can even get sub 20 with the Rubik's brand. So, yeah, cube is important, but it's not that important. Yeah. Another thing is, when you feel like you can't get to sub 20, just take a break, like practice 4x4 or 5x5 or whatever puzzle you want, and then get back to 3x3 whenever you feel comfortable doing it. So don't rush, and have a nice day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.